All right, awesome. All right, good morning, everybody. This is Claude from All In Society. I am your host, but today we're doing something a little bit special. And we're not just doing audio, we're doing a visual interview with one of the best, if not the best, poker player in the DMV area. Yeah, so I'll let you speak to that and let everybody know about your experience on the poker table and your accomplishments. Um, Yaser just gave me the breakdown, so hopefully I don't butcher it. But it's Yaser Al-Keliddar. Did I butcher it or I say it right?
No, that's good. That was
All
good.
right.
A plus.
All right, awesome. All right, Yaser, just do us a quick, brief introduction of who you are.
All right. As you heard, my name is Yaser Al-Keliddar. I'm a poker pro, a 42-year-old poker pro, DC native, and that's pretty much who I am, I guess.
Okay. All right, so I'll just tell you guys about my experience from my point of view, my perspective. So when I was as a dealer, as a supervisor, as a manager at MGM, I've recently left, so I don't no longer work there. But throughout those times, I've dealt to Yasser, and I've been a supervisor. Hopefully, if I had to make any rulings at his table, either in his favor or not in his favor, most of the time, Yasser's, if anything was any issues at the table, Yasser was not the reason why there was an issue. It was another player. But with that being said, I have watched Yasu from a distance and kind of noticed how successful he's been in the tournament streets. And then I also saw him playing cash games. I don't think you probably typically didn't play 2-5. I think you just typically would jump in the 5-10 streets when you played cash. A little 20-40 limit hold'em. I think I've seen you play that. So I've seen you jump in and even some Omaha games. So just from a distance, I've kind of just watched and observed and admired and was be so excited back then to have an opportunity to interview you and get to know you a little bit more and pull from you from your experience in the poker table. And with that being said, so in 2018, $3,000 event, World Series of Poker, limit hold'em six max. Not only did you do well in this tournament, you shipped it. You won the bracelet. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that was a fun experience. It was a thrill to win a World Series of Poker bracelet because it's something I never thought that I could achieve. Um, you always want to like have the belief that you could do something like that, but I don't know how much I really believed it. So when it's actually happening, it's kind of hard to wrap my head around. But that was kind of an interesting story because that was after I got eliminated from the World Series of Poker main event, and I was planning on just taking a couple days off and then playing the main event at the Win. So I was just like resting and getting ready for that. And then one morning, my buddy, who's a very good poker pro, Adam Hendricks, he texted me and he said, "Hey, are you going to play this tournament today?" And he was talking about this 3K limit hold'em six-handed event.
Hmm.
And I didn't even, so for some reason, I didn't even know it was happening. And I was like, I think my first response was, no, I'm just going to relax until the Win main event. But then I thought, well, maybe I should play it. He's like, yeah, you should certainly play this tournament because I was playing a lot of limit hold'em back then,
Okay.
and I was pretty good at it. So then I decided, okay, I guess I better get my act in gear, and I, you know, took got showered and dressed and did some exercise, and then I decided to go there and play, and I was there, for hand number one. I remember that tournament started at 3 o'clock, and that's kind of different. I think it because most tournaments start around 11 o'clock in the morning or noon. But playing one that starts at 3 o'clock is kind of a challenge because it doesn't wrap up till after 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I remember day one was going okay for a while, and then I kind of hit a valley. And I remember being pretty frustrated, and I was ready to just kind of like lose all my chips just so I could go home and go to sleep. Um, but I won some more pots. I was able to erase those thoughts and just try to play my best and stay focused. And then I had a pretty good stack heading into day two, and then got deeper into day two. And that tournament had 221 entries. I don't think you were allowed to re-enter that tournament. But
Okay.
as we got deeper in day two, I remember just looking around and I was like, wow, there's only like 5 or 6 tables left. Like I'm getting pretty deep in a World Series tournament. That's kind of a strange feeling. And then I started like thinking like maybe I could actually win this tournament. And then I think we ended day two with 8 players, and I was tied for the chip lead
Wow.
uh, with a Finnish poker pro named Juha Helppi.
Okay.
And then he and I eventually got heads up, and I had a pretty good chip lead, maybe 3-1 or something.
Going into it, heads up.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. And I don't think we played heads up for very long. And yeah, I was able to emerge victorious. Um, and I always like act like things are not a big deal. And I was sort of like my first thought. And then afterwards, like a few days later, I was like, wow, I won a World Series of Poker bracelet. This is actually kind of a big deal. And, got a lot of congratulations from friends and family and also from strangers. I remember a bunch of my friends wanted me to bring the bracelet to MGM. So I did. And then I had random people who I'd never spoken to asking me if they could see the bracelet. So, that was a pretty cool moment. That's kind of like my claim to fame in the local poker circles, that I won a bracelet.
Right. So the event, did it wrap in 3 days or was it finished in two?
It was 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it was like my breakthrough victory. I think I'd started playing poker full time in May of 2017.
Mhm.
And this bracelet victory was July of 2018. So it didn't take too long to sort of like prove to myself that I could do it. And I won just over $154,000 in that tournament. And I took some friends out that night, a couple friends out for a celebratory dinner, and then the next day I took 3 friends for a celebratory lunch at Hobak, which is a Korean barbecue place in Vegas, and
Okay.
it was like a lot of fun to celebrate. And then I think 2 nights later, maybe the next night after that, went to Encore Beach Club and celebrated again. And yeah, it was really good memories, fond memories of that I'll always cherish.
Right. Awesome. Now, for those folks who aren't familiar of what it takes and how enduring of a process it is to play poker for 3 full days, what was it like at the end of the event? Were you still really like running on that high and you crashed immediately after, or what was your body like? What was your mind like?
I think I had a lot of adrenaline going
Mm.
right after the victory, and my mind was racing, and I was getting a lot of messages to congratulate me.
Mhm.
But it is grueling. It's kind of a grind because you have to sit there for I think it was 2 of those days were like 12 or 13 hours, and I think the last day was maybe 8 or 9 hours, something like that, or maybe 6. I don't know, but uh, that was a good moment. But yeah, you really got to be focused for a long amount of time, and that's one of the challenges of tournament poker, as
Right.
opposed to cash games where you can take a break whenever you want. In tournaments, you typically get a 15-minute break every 2 hours, and you also get a dinner break. We had a dinner break on those. Actually, only on day two, I think, was there a